Hey, and a very warm welcome to the Into the LightWeb podcast with me, your hostess, Joanna Hunter, metaphysical teacher, spiritual life and business coach, published author, and the high priestess of the LightWeb, a spiritual technology that will change your life. This is the place to be to talk everything under the LightWeb, from consciousness, relationships, to money, to spiritual business, and everything in between. So let me explain a little bit about how a LightWeb healing works, what LightWeb is. So LightWeb is a spiritual technology that was downloaded to me fully in the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. It is a soul-based technology that used to be on planet Earth, and now it is back, and I have been asked to bring it back to the peoples of Earth. In LightWeb, this is not a LightWeb activation. We do that inside my LightWeb course. So LightWeb healing is where I connect to the LightWeb, and the LightWeb is connected to everything in this universe. And so it's a very powerful and potent energy. And from that place and from that energy place, I'm able to connect with you all and begin to channel in the healing. So all these healings are channeled and they come in two parts. The first part of the healing is what I call smashing up the energy, breaking up the energy. So it's a kind of talking part. It's a part where we're going to be having a chat. It's interactive. So we want you to be interacting. So if you've got your phone on, make sure your phone's switched off. If you got little distractions running around, try and get yourself out of that room with the distractions. It's a good idea that you're sitting somewhere really comfortable, but at the same time that you're able to interact with the part. The second part is the actual part where we actually do the clearing of the energy and the healing of the energy. That piece is completely channeled through my spirit team. And in that piece, what we experience is you might experience my voice changing. I allow spirit to step in. I'm a trance medium, so I allow my voice to step in. We might get, I channel my spirit team Skylar, but often we have other galactic energies that join us, angelic energies that join us, and helping you to clear out the energy that we're working on. So today the topic is a very, very juicy topic. I don't think any of us have escaped our families without some wounds. So it's family wounds is the topic today. So it's an extremely juicy topic. I'm really excited for this myself. So stepping into the energy clearing part is just like a meditation. You're just going to relax. I'm going to talk you through the relaxation, and then we just go on a little trippy trip and begin to clear the energy out. And during that time, I often speak something called light language. If you have never experienced light language before, let me know in the comments. If you are brand new to light language and you're like, I have no idea what that is. So light language is it is a language beyond a language is the best way to describe light language. Light language comes in perhaps this the painting that you can see behind me is one of my own paintings, but it contains the symbols, the symbolic light language. It can be in movement, it can be in dance. Light language is always being transmitted by nature. It can be sounds. And it's also as well spoken. So if we've never experienced light language, it will maybe sound like gibberish. We are not to listen with our human ears. We are just to be open and available. It's very normal during the light language piece that you can feel very emotional. Don't resist, just really be in that state of flow and just be open to something shifting and changing. So let's have a wee look. So if you are, if you're in the temple, let me know if you're in my temple. So if you're in the temple, so Laura's saying, yeah, she's in the temple. Let me know who are my ladies that are in the temple. So loads of temple ladies here. So if you're wondering what the temple is where we do LightWeb healings. And if this is your very, very first time and you're like, at the end of this, you're like, I would love more of this, the temple is the place to be. We have done healings on things like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. We have done healings on activating the now, past lives, self-acceptance, healing on your inner critic, self-sabotage, the burnout wound, inner child, the good girl wound, that's a big juicy one, the witch wound, another juicy one, money vows, and poverty mindset. We've done clearings on all of them. So if you are interested in joining the temple, as you can see, there is a lot of temple sisters here. If you're interested in joining the temple, there will be a link for you being sent out after today so that you can go and check it out. Including the healings, we also have conversations with Skylar, and there's a lot of other aspects in there as well, like healing tools and things. We do monthly challenges and lots of that. So it's the place where we do the inner work and somebody is pouring into your cup, which is really important if you're a spiritual entrepreneur. So just to go through some ground rules as well, or some ground stuff that's important. Detox symptoms are very usual during the healings. So that is scratchy throat, drippy nose. You might not be pleasant to share a bathroom with as your body tries to physically rid itself of some of the toxic buildup. You might find your tummy might get rumbly, things like that. You might get tearful and teary. These are all normal symptoms. They shouldn't persist any longer than 2 days. So remember, obviously, a lot of those symptoms are also the symptoms of COVID. So go easy on yourself. But if they happen directly afterwards, don't think that you're getting sick. It might be that your body is needing to detox. So a really, really important thing is to make sure you have a drink of water with you and maybe some tissues with you as well. So we're going to get into it now. We're going to get into the breaking up the energy part now. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that this is not an opportunity to get into the blame game. That's going to be one of our biggest ego traps for our family wounds. So the blame game is where we disempower ourselves by laying blame somewhere else. So the first energy that I want to tidy up for all of you is fault and blame. It can absolutely be someone else's fault that they did something that, you know, put you in a victim role or in a victim position, and absolutely 100% it can be their fault. After the event is finished, if we choose to engage in the blame game, it is us that is disempowering ourselves. We can say that was that person's fault, but how I feel about this going forward, that's on me. And that's how we regain our power in disempowering situations. So all of us, when it comes to families, will have at some point probably got a disempowering, come into a disempowering energy of some kind. When we're with our families, they're very good at pushing all of our buttons with alarming accuracy. So if you resonate with this, let me know in the comments if your family has what I call the button pushers of life. So the people that can literally push your buttons. So I'm going to put my hands up for that because so what I like to reframe my button pushers of life to is that they are divine assignments. Your family are a huge, big divine assignment. So a divine assignment is for you to learn something deeper about yourself, right? So when we go through really awful, sometimes very, very icky energy with our families and things like that, often there is at the core of whatever we're going through a divine assignment. The divine assignment will always, always connect you to your soul. They'll always connect you to your soul. So in order to stay empowered during this session, we are going to avoid jumping into the blame game and the pointing of fingers. Yes, it can be their fault, but we are going to take personal responsibility for ourselves because this is the place where we're ready to heal. And if it's someone else's fault, It means the power to heal does not lay with you. It lays with them once they learn how to behave themselves properly, of course. And you know, and I know that's going to be half-assed never. So it's really, really important that we put that ownership back on ourselves and say, this is my job to heal. It can be someone else's fault that I have these wounds, but I'm not going to engage in the blame game to them because it is done. And now it is my job to make sure that I am the best version of me. So the first thing that I want you to do is just to place your hands on your heart and just take a deep breath. I give myself permission when it comes to my family wounds to let go of the blame game. I give myself permission when it comes to my family wounds to let go of the blame game. I give myself permission during this session for something to shift. So you're just repeating what I'm saying. I give myself permission for something to shift. I give myself permission to heal this for myself. I give myself permission to heal this. I do not need a sorry or an acknowledgement of this energy from anyone else but me. So, got loads resonating with the button pusher. So the next energy that I want you guys to come and have a look at with me is how many of you feel the need inside of you that someone outside of you, so that's a family member or somebody that belongs to your family, they need to acknowledge something. It's like, because this is an energy that I find quite often in my one-to-one clients sometimes, is that they really, really have this like attachment to this need that they need, like, say for instance, their mother, they need their mother to know that she hurt them. You know, they need the other person to know something, like there's that attachment into needing that validation in a way that they did wrong and I'm right. So I tried that, not good. Yes. Anyone else feeling that 10 years ago? Yes, not anymore. Brilliant. So we've got quite a few people that are already moving past that. So this need to kind of be validated. So sometimes what I do is I get really in your face a little bit and I say to you, do you want to be healed or do you want to be right? It's a juicy question. Do you want to be healed or do you want to be right? Because sometimes those two don't live at the same address. Sometimes healing requires us to let go of the need to be validated, acknowledged, or right in the outer world, that it should just be enough for us to be. So healed, please. I'm seeing lots, but I want to be healed. So do you want to be healed or do you want to be right? So again, so Mary has brought up my parents are dead, my parents are in the spirit, right? So again, there's that feeling, and you need to tap in there and check in there, Mary. Maybe, the reason we're feeling this is, is that, are we feeling that perhaps I didn't get my chance to say my piece, to say my thing, right? Because I think a lot of people are wanting, when it comes to their families, they want to say their piece, they want to say their bit, right? And then of course, when our family move on into the spirit, it can always feel like, oh, well, snap. I didn't get my chance to say that. So now I feel a little bit aggrieved and I feel a little bit robbed of my opportunity to say my piece, So Ruby here is saying it's time for healing and I've always wanted to be right. Yes. So sometimes we have to acknowledge, and it's just, I want to bring that into the foreground of the acknowledgement of, like, we don't always they don't always live at the same address, unfortunately. Sometimes we get to heal and we get to be right, and that's an awesome day when that happens. But more often than not, the healing and the getting to be right are separate issues completely. And which one would you rather? And for me, I would rather feel the healing and be able to move on with my life than stay stuck and waiting for a validation from an outside source, which means it's a source I will never have any control over. And yet the internal healing, I will always have control over that. So I aim to focus forward and keep the past in the past. Beautiful. I worry, even in my dream, I was worrying about my passed over brother-in-law's safety. Just send them love. That is a vibration that literally cures the universe. So I desire to heal myself. Beautiful. So the next thing that I want you to look at is, and this is going to be so take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Where have we been the cause of the family wound, right? Because if we're going to willing to heal ourselves, maybe it's time that we gave ourselves some forgiveness for where we have consciously or unconsciously caused wounding to our own family members, whether we were aware of it or whether we were not aware of it. So I give myself permission to forgive myself for either consciously or unconsciously hurting my family members. I give myself permission to give myself self-forgiveness and self-love, to sort of proverbially let myself off the hook. I don't need to feel either shame or guilt over that anymore. I'm releasing it all. I'm releasing that energy. I'm choosing to release that energy. How does that feel? I'm feeling good. So feeling lighter. So beautiful, yes. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to ask to release anywhere where we have felt that our family have not met our needs. Any space, any place where we have felt like our family has not met our needs. Where they failed to see us, where they failed to meet our needs, where they failed to be there for us in a positive way. I forgive myself. I forgive them. I give myself permission to let that go. And in with this, what's coming up for me as well is any judgments that I have that they could have done better, right? Because sometimes that can really hurt us too. That can do a number on our psyche, believing that they could have done better and they just chose not to. So let's go. Let's just get rid of that heavy energy. What I want you to imagine in front of you is a big, big, giant bowl of violet energy, violet fire, the violet flame. So let's toss all of that into the violet flame. So bringing that in, so this idea of like, they could have done better. They could have like been nicer, been kinder, or done a better job at meeting my needs and things like that. And that they purposely went out of their way to like do all of that. And we're going to shift our understanding into the understanding that unhealed people often hurt others. So perhaps an acceptance and an acknowledgement is needed from us that maybe they wouldn't have been so hideous to us sometimes if they had been more healed themselves. And that's not excusing them or validating what they did. It is really just accepting that maybe even though I felt that they fell far below the par, that they were maybe just doing the best that they could. And even though that might have been a poor job, let's just, so we're letting go into the violet flame of anywhere where our needs have not been met, anywhere where they fell short, where they failed to see us, maybe validate us and help us, where they left us in a way, abandoned us in certain places of our lives where we had needs that then went unmet. Equally, any patterns of energy that we've had of codependency. So not being in our power and needing the other person, the family member. And then of course, when they're not meeting our needs, because they're not being there for us, refusing to take that full responsibility for ourselves. So let us know in the comments what's coming up. Joanna saying this is really tough one. My son has been feeling this way and many struggles with my husband being ill. He feels we've let him down. So I need to really explain that it's not about you guys meeting the needs, right? Because if we really were to be fully sovereign in ourselves, we know it's our job to meet our needs, not our families. Okay. Feeling resistance and letting go of some of this. So just keep placing as much as you can of it into this big violet bowl, into the big violet flame. Never good enough for my mum, I've always felt. So place that into the violet flame. Feeling so guilty. So place that guilt into the violet flame. So just placing that in. Okay, the next one. Take a deep breath for this. I love myself. Just repeat after me. I love myself and I am enough. Just allow yourself just to build your energy up a little bit as we go through these, because these are tough. Any learned behavior, any behavior that we learn. So if we lived in a family that was always broke, and then we learned how to be broke, and we didn't learn how to be wealthy because our family never taught us how to be wealthy. Any patterns of like where maybe we had a super critical mom, and as a result, we took on that criticism. As a result, we took on that criticism and just thought this is the way life is. So you just criticize everywhere you go, realizing it's actually not you. It's not your true self. It's not who you are. Anywhere where you took on behaviors that were your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, anywhere where you're so putting that into the violet flame, feeling unsupported for so long. My mom told me that she was intentionally raised me to be independent of her. My mom died when she was around, so wanted me to be prepared without her. She's now 92. Okay, so let's place that into the violet flame. Let's place that really heavy energy. She made it to 92 and her mom died when she was young, and we can see the intention there, right? We can see the purity of that intention. She wanted you to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And of course, that would have felt really like a form of rejection, of like she was trying to shove you out the door all the time, right? So really feeling that. So any guilt that we have around families, any guilt that we have for the younger generation, our children, grandchildren, any guilt that we have for the older generations, or any guilt that we have for our peer group, our siblings. So place that into the violet flame. So I'm really, really being called here by spirits, really saying, Skylar's really saying to me, anywhere where you're angry with your family. Do you hold any anger with your family? Where are you angry? Where are you pissed at them? Where, what's the story behind that anger? What are we holding on to? So my dad left when I was 16 and he died when I was 42, and 26 years were lost because of his own emotional baggage. So any anger that you're carrying in that, let's place that into the violet flame. Let's take a moment to place that into the violet flame. So much guilt being away and never there for my parents and grandparents. So can we give ourselves that self-forgiveness? So after several suicide attempts as a teenager, my parents' attention was always on me and not on my brother, and he felt neglected, and now he's an addict, and I feel somewhat guilty for this. So placing that into the violet flame and offering that for the healing, And then also as well, perhaps another pattern of energy that this is coming up for that I've written down in my notes as I was tuning into the energy beforehand is, are you maybe the fixer of your family? Are you taking too much responsibility for your family? So think about all the places where you assumed the responsibility. So I took responsibility in my family. It was a big pattern of mine. Took lots and lots and lots of responsibility. So much so that I disempowered people around me because I'll do it, I'll fix it, I'll sort it, and then annoyed at them for not helping. But I was always there with my elbows out, ready to fix and sort at a moment's notice, and really understanding that. So really going in there as well. Angry, my mum died way before her time, because she chose a hideous man. So putting that into the fire. Anything that's coming up for you, just place that into that violet flame. So the violet flame is a spiritual tool that vibrates it's a vibrational spiritual tool that vibrates at the frequency of mercy, grace, and forgiveness, and has a cleansing quality. It cleanses and cleans and restores vibration. So it's really powerful. So an older cousin who tried to sexually abuse me is coming up again for healing. So we're going to look at abuse as well. So Vandra's saying, I feel so sick to my tummy. So take a deep, deep breath. Just ground your energy in, and we're going to do some grounding for this when we do the healing. So just if you're feeling like it's getting a lot, just take a breather, take a deep breath, and just allow yourself to ground your energy. That's by imagining roots coming from the soles of your feet, going deep into Mother Earth. So this one is the big one. This is a big, heavy one because this happens in a lot of families. We're going to give over to the fire, to the violet flame, any abuse, any mental, physical, financial, verbal, or sexual abuse or incest that happened in our families. So placing all of that. Placing all of that. So I'm just calling in our angels, archangels, our spirit guides, our spirit helpers, our ancestors that are truly there for us, not any ancestors that's caused any emotional pain, but ancestors that are there for us. And bringing that in, and I'm just asking your guardian angels to step into your auric fields. So what that means is that they're just going to bring their higher vibration as we move through this denser vibration. They're just going to give you the support of their higher vibration so that we can see all of these heavier energies of abuse, of not having our needs met, of failings that we perceive in our families, failings that have actually happened, that we can just lean on that vibration of their higher vibrational frequency as we process, so we can see it from a higher perspective. We can begin to see the divine assignments in there. And then finally, any shame or guilt that we're feeling, any shame or guilt that we're feeling for anything within our families. And it can range, the shame can range from anything. It can range from that abuse. It can range to maybe, I remember once dating this guy that was from a really wealthy family, and we lived on a council estate and feeling shame. Anywhere where we're feeling that shame, that guilt around our families, just placing that in. So anger, my biological father just want to know me, and my mother's behavior as a victim. So placing all of that into the fire. Placing all of that into the fire. So let's go into a final piece of permission work before we go into the healing. You've done really well, guys. This is big, 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 heavy energy. Big, heavy energy. So I give myself permission. So start with that. I give myself permission to release any and all energy. I give myself permission. If you place your hand on your hearts, we're going to see if we can. I'm going to light some Palo Santo here. I give myself permission to let go of any and all energy around family wounds. I give myself permission to step into my healing. I give myself permission to let go of any heavy, stuck energy and distortions in my energy field around my family. I give myself permission to heal. Isaiah saying so much yawning. Time for the healing, Isaiah. You're so ready for it. It's just shifting. So if you're yawning, nose is dripping, these are all signs that you're starting to, the healing has already started for you. So I'm just going to leave this to the side to burn. I give myself permission to choose love instead of this. The hurt, the anger, the upset. I choose love instead. I choose love instead. So really stepping into that. Really asking your guardian angel to step in and just hold you. You might feel their presence towards your back. Asking your guardian angel just to wrap their wings around you. Allowing you just to Feel their strength. Feel their knowing. They have been your witness. They have witnessed it all. Every up, every down. You were never alone. Crying hard. The role of atoning for family sins, since I'm very different. Shame and guilt of being totally different, forgetting all the hate and all the biggest shit possible. So letting all of that go and placing it into the fire. Download to release. They have to heal in order for me to heal. No, no, no. Let's place that on the fire. What if your healing is the beacon in the light and that your healing is right here? Everybody has what they need to move on to the next step. So, who is ready for some healing and deep release? Let me know in the comments if you are ready. Okay. I can feel my spirit team stepping up and moving into my energy. So we are all ready. So what I want you to do is, if you're wearing any tight clothing, you want to loosen that clothing off. If you have got any noisemakers, you want to make sure that they are switched to do not disturb, and just pop your phones and things on do not disturb. We tend to go really, really deep in these sessions. So if you're your first time here, I'm just going to jump in here to the Facebook group. So got loads of people here ready for the healing. Beautiful. So let's have a look. So ready for your first time. Just gonna. Okay. So you're wanting to sit really, really comfortably. And we're just taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So breathing in through your nose, exhaling out through your mouth. And as we're breathing in this time, we're going to let go of any stresses and strains in the body. Breathing in, exhaling out, and letting go of any stresses and strains. And this time, as we breathe in, we're going to imagine that we're breathing in pure golden white light energy, filling our whole being with this golden white light energy, and exhaling out any stagnant, murky energy. And with every breath that we take, we feel ourselves becoming more and more relaxed, going deeper and deeper. And with every breath that we take, we feel ourselves becoming more and more relaxed, becoming more and more relaxed, going deeper and deeper. Feeling lighter and brighter with every breath that we're taking. So as we're bringing in that in-breath, more golden white light energy of pure source energy is filling your body. We're feeling lighter and brighter, becoming more and more relaxed. And we are allowing ourselves just to go deeper and deeper, feeling more and more relaxed, going deeper and deeper. And this time, as we bring in our in-breath, we're going to imagine beautiful, large roots growing from the soles of our feet and our tailbone, deep into Mother Earth. Imagine those roots going through the floorboards, going through the building, going all the way down into Mother Earth, going deeper and deeper. And as the roots go into Mother Earth, they spread out and form a huge network, grounding you, holding you steady. And we feel that love of unconditional love from Gaia, our planet, from our beautiful, beautiful planet. And as those roots go deeper and deeper, we feel ourselves becoming more and more grounded. more safe and more secure, and feeling that feeling of unconditional love. And we're allowing that unconditional love to move up through the roots of our feet, into the soles of our feet. We're allowing that unconditional love to move higher and higher. And we're allowing that unconditional love to move up through our body and in every cell of our body, feeling grounded in love, feeling grounded in unconditional love. And as we breathe in now, even more source golden white light energy, we're allowing ourselves to allow our energy to move into Father Sky, going higher and higher into the sky and into the cosmos. And with every breath that we take, we're feeling ourselves going lighter and brighter, becoming more and more relaxed. And we're going to now go into the astral realm. So just follow my voice and allow us to guide you there. With every breath that you take, we're placing more and more energy into your body, allowing yourself to become more and more relaxed, allowing yourself to feel as though we have you on the softest of clouds. We are surrounding you now in the love of the cosmos, into the healing, and we are taking you into the healing gardens in the astral realm. Allow yourself and your energy to ascend higher and higher. We are guiding you with your guardian angels, and a choir of angels are holding the space for all of you to move effortlessly through into the spirit realms and into the realms of the astral plane. As we arrive into the garden, you will feel the grass soft beneath your feet. Allow yourself just a moment to adjust as the rest of us arrive here in these beautiful gardens. All around you is beautiful plants, animals, flowers, and trees, and bushes of every type and source. Powerful green energy all around you in all of the greenery, surrounding you in Archangel Raphael's healing light and ray. We ask that you follow your guardian angel into the center of this garden. Allow yourself just to simply move into the center of the garden. And all of the sisters here and the temple sisters that are here, we ask that you gather in a large circle. We are honored by your presence, and we are grateful for your willingness to heal family wounds. Family wounds are one of the most persistent wounds that we work on here in the spirit world as well as in your physical realm. That we ask that anything that is heavy, difficult, and hard, that you place that into the bubble of light in the center of this garden. That your burdens were never meant to be yours to carry alone, and that much disappointment that you may have felt at family was a misunderstanding within the energy. It was not your family's responsibility to help you, but ours, and you need only but ask. So many of you have been without spiritual guidance on your planet. And so it is not until much later in life that you are unraveling these wounds, for you have felt alone in the burden of carrying them. And we say unto you now that we are here with you, that you have never been alone, and that we have always been that silent witness, always ready to help and open and available to helping. But with your free will, we require your assistance. We require your spoken acknowledgement of allowing us to help you. So we ask now, if you feel open and available to that help, that we can now move in your life and move in and be deeper assistance to you. And if you require this, please ask us. Anything that is heavy, anything that you have been hanging on to, the shame and the guilt, we ask that you place it in to the center bubble of light for transmutation, for the removal of cords, for the removal of burdens, for the removal of the pain that these incidences have caused, and allow the healing to begin. You are such brave souls to be here, to be within our presence, and allow us to work within your energy fields. And as we unravel all of this, much energy will be released, and we may use this energy for positivity, may use this energy to facilitate change on your planet. And so we thank you for your contribution. And the more energy that you may place into the ball of light, know that you are contributing more and more to your planetary grids and the upgrading that we are working on and doing at this time. We wish to invite each and every one of you to step into the ball of light and the bubble of light that we have created, to step boldly in and allow it to cleanse your auric field, to cleanse your energy, both inner and outer, and all of the energy envelopes that surround your physical body and your soul, allowing the energy to move. And as you see, you will see the violet flame activate within your field, and your field become violet in nature and color. Stay in this bubble of light. Allow the light to surround you completely and utterly. We're expanding this bubble of light, moving it out into the outer edges of your life so that all of it may be healed. And as you stay in this light, know that the light is repairing, releasing, and opening you up to higher levels of consciousness and pathways. Allow yourself to breathe within this bubble of light. As you breathe, we breathe as one. We transmute now into the higher consciousness that will allow you to understand the divine assignments before you. We ask that you release any burdens, blame, shame, and guilt into this holy circle. And we'll begin now a transmission of light. Listen not with your ears, Listen with your heart and your physical being. Ishunoi kanai ikarai ishunanai itnanari nanano ishunano unanari gorakarai. Ishunano unanari ennanari utkananai innanari ishunana ishunana ashtaraka ikananai innanari innana ula kanai ishunaka ashakana ashakare ikari nananai innanai. Breathe deeply. Inanarai, inanarai, ushiknai, inanarai, ishikrai, ishikrai, inanarai. Inano unanari, itanani, inana, unanari, ishikrai, inanarai, nai, ishanai. Inano, nai, inanai, ushkrai, unano, tunai, kai, nonai, metikrai, inanarai, tish. O matai. O mai, o matai on, ikarai unna, karai innare, ishikrai inna. Erare o la makanai, eshikanai, innare, ishirai. And breathe. Ishikara, ishikrai, innanare, innanai. Inana o no 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 ishanai, alala ishanai, ora kinanani, ushikara, itakara, innana, ushkaranai. Inakonai, inanonai, inanonai, onanai, inanana, ushkarai. Inananai, inanana, ishananai, inanakarai. Inanare, 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 inana, ushkanai, ishkanai, onanare, ushkanai, ekanonai, ekananai, ushkanai, ishkanai, shadai. Shadaya, Shikaraya Namo, Shikononi, Shikaraya. Inano Oshono Inanarai. We wish you strength. Inanarai Inanao. Ishanarai Inanarai. Inano O Mananai Tai Lakarai Shikarai. Remember that you are the light. That the light of creation is you. And you are the light of creation. Inanano Shikanai Inanakai Tukari Nene. And remember your true selves in this moment. You're placing a blessing on your third eye. Allow yourself to receive it in. Shikrai, Itirani, Inanai, Ishlai, Ekarai, Isharai, Itarai, Irikari, Ishanani, 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 Inana, Shh, no more. Just allowing your energy to feel freer and freer. Allowing yourself to place any deep hurts into the flame and into the blessing ball of light. To be transmuted, to be released. Anywhere where you are feeling resistance in your body, we ask you now, as a final act of self-love of this healing, to place that resistance with us so that we may transmute it into ease and flow. We are here to assist you as always. We are here walking your path with you. We are here to open up the highest of energies and the highest of possibilities. You need only ask us for assistance. We thank you for the potency of coming together like this. As you become willing to heal that within yourself, you become walking portal for others to heal this energy in them. You do not need to preach or be out there. You just simply need to be yourself. And your own vibration and frequency begins to transmit the possibility of deep healing, the possibility of shifting, the possibility of moving timelines. And that is all that is required for another human to understand that it may be possible for them too, and opens up pathways into the realm of infinite possibilities. We are so honored by your willingness to cleanse and clear this as a collective energy, and that we are sending many angels to assist all of you in your ability to walk as portal for these energies. We wish you to know in your deepest of hearts that you have never been alone, that we have always been with you. You are so loved beyond measure. And we give all of this to you. And we hope that you feel it in every cell of your being. And when you're ready, just taking a deep breath. And we're just going to bring ourselves back. So becoming aware of the chair that you're in. Bring your consciousness back to the physical body, to the here and the now. Bring your consciousness back to your fingers and your toes. Bring your consciousness back to the here and the now. And on the count of 3, we're going to feel wide awake and refreshed. 3, bringing ourselves ever present into our physical body. 2, moving your fingers and your toes. 1, eyes open, feeling wide awake and refreshed, coming fully back into the room, being back in full presence with us. How are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling? Whew. Let me know. Take a wee drink of water. I've got a very numb face, so I was channeling a lot. Beautiful. I felt every energy in every cell of my body and soul. Lots of energy moving, empty, cold, but much more ease. Beautiful. So you were releasing a lot of energy if the temperature changed. I had the chills, so temperature changed there as well. I am loved, I am the light, and I am smiling. Beautiful. Lots of yawning. I cried. That's okay. So beautiful energies. So much energy. My feet felt like they were like lead. I feel dizzy and lightheaded. If you feel dizzy and lightheaded, make sure you drink water. You want to get back into your physical body. It just means that you went very, very high with the vibrations. Tons of light codes came through, lots of clearing, amazing, beautiful. Feeling cold, that's just your energy shifting. Thank you, feel a weight off my back, and watched black pants leave me, were lifted off, yawning, chills, beautiful. Crying and yawning, thank you, temperature went up for sure. So yes, loads of shifting in energy. Came on, thought it was just starting. No worries, you can get the replay. Lots of yawning, wanted to move around a lot, yes. My animals and spirit were greeting me, beautiful. I have wonderful soul stone on my third eye, shining bright. Loveful. I love that. Physical sensations, holding on to the energy release too. Wow, only just came back. That went really deep. That's okay. So what else have we got here? Feeling so light. Really wanted to answer in the light language. It was so wonderful, beautiful. I love that. That was so deep into my body and my solar plexus, crying, feeling cold. Just be gentle with yourself today. So the aftercare today is making sure you drink lots and lots of water. The reason you want to drink lots of water is that when we hang on to a lot of negative energy, it is a detox process to actually get that out of your body. The best thing to get rid of that is water. The second reason why we drink lots of water is that water is an electrical superconductor. You are an electrical being. Your energy is actually electricity. And so drinking water allows your cells to communicate in more effortless ease with each other. So that's going to help to speed up the healing, and it's going to help to speed up the detox portion of this. Water will also ground you and get you back into your physical form as well, which is really, really important after one of these healings. And today it's really important that you go gentle with yourself. So I would say that you should avoid things like harsh television. Today is not a day for getting into the news and watching what's on the news, and allowing yourself. It's okay to go straight to sleep, absolutely. If you feel like you need a sleep, you can absolutely go ahead and do that. So yes, you can drink tea as well, but liquids, water is really important. Yeah, so anything harsh, you're going to try and avoid today for a little bit. We're going to be gentle with ourselves. So even if our families push harshness on top of us, we do not need to engage. We do not need to get into the blame game or be upset and say, I've had a healing and now they're ruining it. We don't need to be in that place. We can just let it unfold as it needs to unfold. Can you learn light language? Yes, absolutely. It's one of the things that we teach. We're going to be teaching our priestesses how to all communicate in light language and start to work with light language. But yeah, it's definitely something that can be attuned. You can attune into it. So Shameen is saying I need to sleep. So yeah, so just let yourself sleep if that's what you need, and be really, really gentle. If you have loved today and you really enjoy, then look out for that email. We'll let you know how you can join the temple. And if it was your very, very first LightWeb healing and you're like, how can I have more of this and begin to heal all different areas of my life, then the temple will definitely be the place for you to go and check out. So look out for that email that my team will put together and we'll get that sent out to you. Before we wrap up, do we have any questions today? Anybody want to ask a question or anything that you're maybe confused at or anything like that? I want to make sure that everybody is, I'm leaving everybody at a good place. I feel like there is some questions in the energy. I'm ready to leave all that bad juju behind and move forward with freedom. Beautiful. Well, the angels have it now and you're not getting it back. So that's the nice thing with working with angels. In the temple, can you watch and listen to the other ones that I've done? Yes, you've got a full library of over 20 healings to tap into. So, and they're growing all the time. Like every time I do a healing, it goes into the library in the temple. You've also got something really, really cool. So up until the end of this year in the temple, we're doing these things called conversations with Skylar. So if you've ever watched Abraham Hicks, if you know who Abraham Hicks is, Esther Hicks, she lets you ask questions directly to Abraham, the collective consciousness she channels. Well, the conversations with Skylar, I literally go into trance mediumship for all of my temple sisters, and you guys get to ask the questions. Jen usually holds the space with us, and then she unmutes you and you ask the question, and Skylar answers you through me, which are amazing. So Elena here is saying I really recommend the temple healings, and Skylar's conversations are amazing. So if you've ever wanted to ask Spirit a direct question, conversations with Skylar are literally your chance to do that. And what comes through in those transmissions are amazing. Like I love listening back to the replays because people ask questions I would never have thought of asking, and the answers are so interesting. Like there's things like sometimes when I'm listening back to them, I'm like, I don't know if I would have thought of it like that. But then when I hear it, it's just, there's just something that just resonates so deeply in my soul with the answer that came through me. So it's beautiful. So yes, so it's amazing. It's always learned so much from Skylar conversations with Sarah. Yes, beautiful. I was told to love even the really dark things in the world, like Nazis and guards and torturers, and not to be resistant to that, and find this hard and not sure how to do this. Rachel, literally in increments. Not everybody's ready for that level of love, right? Everything's on a spectrum and everything is in increments. Do I believe in the advice that you were given, that it's good? Yes, because here's how Skylar described it for me that's helped me to really navigate and walk with this. I want you to think of a giant cauldron, and it has like little steps going up to this giant cauldron. And everybody in the entire world, like the 7.9 billion people that live on this planet, all get to step up the steps to the cauldron and dump something in, right? Inside the cauldron is the collective soup of humanity, right? So some people are going up those steps and they're dumping in literally all the shit of the day. They're dumping in torture, they're dumping in horrible acts of violence against other human beings. So into the collective soup it goes, right? But every single human being has an opportunity to put something in that soup, right? And what's going to determine the flavor of the collective soup, right? Is the soup going to be bitter because so many people have popped in like really ick energies? Or do we do our part and put the best flavor of energy in there? Like, what's your best flavor? So if your best flavor is, I'm going to love when other people are like judging or getting angry, am I going to rock up to that cauldron? I'm going to put my love in there instead. So that's how I see it. So instead of actually trying to like love the torturers or love the Nazis or love these people, what I try to do is my part that I play, I try to put positive energy into the cauldron. So I rock up to the cauldron and I think, what can I do today that is of the frequency and vibration that I want to give to the collective soup, right? So that could be a random act of kindness. That could be a smile to a stranger. That could be, that could be just doing something nice. That could be gifting a healing to your community, right? Like this is all good juju into the cauldron. Well, if enough of us get together and do this, we change the flavor of the collective soup of humanity. And that soup, we have the power within us. As we give voice to that in ourselves, we unconsciously give permission for others to come in and start doing their, like, I'm choosing to put light in that cauldron. Like that cauldron, like by hook or by crook, that soup's going to taste good by the time I'm done with being on this planet. That's how I see it. So by hook or by crook, that soup is going to taste freaking phenom by the time I'm done, you know? And I hope that you guys, you know, I see my community as a community of spiritual entrepreneurs, and I hope that all of us are joining me and like basically making good tasting soup here for humanity, and that we're all taking a moment, because there is darkness, and that's not to say that it isn't there. Of course it's there, but we don't have to be it, and we don't have to be on the vibration of it. We can put something different into the cauldron. Does that mean that we have to learn to love people that society has deemed as very difficult to love? Yeah, when we get to the level of like next level guru, but right now, for now, it's enough for you to rock up to the cauldron and put your light in there, instead of, you know, feeling the pressure that, oh God, I need to try and find my love for people who torture other people somewhere. That's maybe not, you know, maybe we need just a little bit more zen before we get to that place. But you can still affect change by making sure that what you put out there in the world is of high quality, and put that out instead. Put that, you know, put the smile out to the stranger, put the good stuff out. So yes, I feel beautiful. So I think one of my missions in this lifetime is to love unconditionally. Yes. So you place that into the cauldron. That's what you rock up, and that's what you're going to place into the cauldron, right? So powerful, so potent. And we tend to do what I say, the chicken nugget thing, right? We're like a little chicken nugget, and we're like, oh, but who am I? I'm only me. I can't do much. But, you know, I always think there's a Buddhist story about a fly. Right? And you thinking like a little chicken nugget, you know, you're just a little chicken nugget energy, and it's just you, and who are, you know, and it's just you doing this, you know, who are you? There's just like, you're just this, you know, little energy. But like, try sitting in a room with a fly and then thinking that you're actually powerless, because that little fly in that moment is like, oh my God, where is it? And you're like, you know, and that shows you the power, that you don't have to be huge to have power, you know, to change things. And I think that's what's really important. So Rachel said, they said this is the way to be free. Love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think, you know, there is a level of freedom to it, but I think there's degrees of freedom, and we can begin to free ourselves. Remember, everything's level of consciousness. So we start off at this level of consciousness, but, you know, maybe we can't see how we're ever going to get to that place where we could forgive, you know, people who torture other people. We're thinking, God, you know, like, are from this level of consciousness, we're like, God, what's wrong with you, you know? But then as we move up higher and higher, we can start to see different perspectives. So we have to be willing to allow the road to evolve us and allow the road to grow us, because it will evolve us and grow us. So the next best thing is to rock up to that cauldron and pop your little packet of flavor in there, and make sure it's good vibes in that flavor packet that you're dropping in. And I do believe that if there's enough of us, there is going to be a collective shift in the consciousness, because remember, we're all drinking from that cauldron, and we're all adding to that cauldron, right? So I think it's my sacred duty to make sure I rock up and put good stuff in there, right? And I feel like now you know it too. So maybe now you can see and join me in that mission of, it is my sacred duty to make sure I put good stuff in there, you know, and feel good about that. And I know that it will make a difference. In fact, we had one of the ladies in Divine Planning of Women Prophets, a woman had contacted her that basically she had met in a class in 1992, and the woman like had said, you changed my life, you know? Isn't that amazing? And here she is, like years later in 2022, and tells my client that she's been following her and following her career and everything like that. My client had no idea. And this woman literally seemed like she came out of nowhere. And yet she had been there always, just watching and following and really sending probably really good vibes to my client, because she felt that my client had changed her life. And what a beautiful, heartwarming story. And so we don't know what ripples we're sowing in the world. We don't know how far reaching our impact can be. And I think that's what's so amazing. So I want to say thank you from me and my spirit team. And it feels like there's so many people today in the spirit world with us. So I want to say thank you from all of them. When you do become willing to heal, you become a walking portal for others to heal just by you being you. So keep shining your light. Keep reaching for higher vibrations and higher energy. And thank you so much for joining us. I will speak to you soon. Bye now.